हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, वेलकम टू माय क्लास। आप सभी का स्वागत है मेरे इस सेशन में। सो टुडे आई एम गोइंग टू डिस्कस फ्यू इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस फॉर नीट एग्जामिनेशन एंड द चैप्टर नेम इज केमिकल बॉन्डिंग। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट द सेशन। माय फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, व्हाट इज द क्वेश्चन? वेट फॉर अ मोमेंट। इफ पिक्चर इज नॉट विजिबल, नो इशू, listen what I am telling. Okay, it is given in a compound of type ECl3. Is it clear to you? Where E may be boron, phosphorus, arsenic, or bismuth. They are asking what is the bond angle. We know bond angle. First of all, we have to find out the hybridization. Suppose E is equal to B, means BCl3, PCl3, ASCl3, and BiCl3. We all know in PCl3, ASCl3 hybridization is sp3, but in BCl3 hybridization is sp2. If the hybridization is sp2, the bond angle is 120. If the hybridization is sp3, the bond angle is 109 degree 28 minutes. But we know phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth all belongs to group 15. Okay, when we move down the group, the electronegativity difference decreases. If the electronegativity difference of the central atom decreases, if they have same bond, same hybridization, then the bond angle decreases. Always remember the modified thing of this, that a Drago rule. If you find out what is the reason behind it, so we have a Drago rule. I think you have studied this. So what should be the correct option? So this BCl3 means boron, 120 degree. Then after come phosphorus, arsenic, and then bismuth. Is it clear? Completely. So for question number 1, we will say B is the correct option. Now let's move to the question number 2. If it is not visible, no issue. I'm reading the question. The electronegativity difference between nitrogen and fluorine is more. Definitely, because nitrogen has electronegativity 3 and fluorine has electronegativity 4, in comparison to the electronegativity difference between nitrogen and hydrogen, because nitrogen has electronegativity 3 and hydrogen has almost 2.1. But the dipole moment of NS3 is more than the dipole moment of NF3. What is the reason behind it? Because we know dipole moment depends upon the electronegativity difference, because more the electronegativity difference, more is the polarity, and more is the polarity, more is the dipole moment. But when we draw the structure of NS3 like this, I am taking lone pair here, no issue. You can take lone pair also here. So NF3 like this, okay, and lone pair here, okay. Now what we observe, the dipole moment, what is the resultant dipole moment, summation of individual dipole moment. The dipole moment direction is from less electronegative to more electronegative, from less electronegative to more electronegative, from less electronegative to more electronegative. Here from less electronegative to more electronegative, from less electronegative to more. Now look at in NS3 all dipole moment are additive, but in NF3 look at all dipole moment are subtractive, means they are away direction, because fluorine is more electronegative than nitrogen. So dipole moment always move, direction is always from less electronegative to more electronegative, and dipole moment is a vector quantity. So what should be the correct option? The in NS3 the atomic dipole and bond dipole are in the same direction, whereas in NF3 these are in the opposite direction. So what should be the answer? A. So always remember those things. Dipole moment is a summation. Net dipole moment is a summation of individual dipole moment. Clear, my friend? I think you can now solve this question. Now let's move to the question number 3. Now they are asking in PO4 3 minus, what is the formal charge on oxygen atom of PO bond? Now in this case, what is the formula of formal charge? Formal charge is equal to total number of charge presence. What is the total number of charge? 3 minus sign, so minus 3 divided by total number of oxygen atoms, so minus 3 by 4, that is equal to minus 0. Not plus, minus 0.75. Clear? So for this question, C is the correct option. But one more thing, suppose if they are like ozone given, and if they are asking find out the dipole moment of each oxygen atom, then we have different formula, sorry, formal charge on each oxygen atom. Then what will you do? Suppose for this, for first oxygen, how will you find? Always remember formal charge is equal to total number of valence electron of oxygen 6 minus number of lone pair of electron. How many electrons are here? 2 and 2, 4. How many lone pair? how many electron left? That means to say 2 and 2 4 means total number of lone pair of electron 4 minus shared pair. How many bond forms? Double bond means 4 electron, multiply by 4. 2 to the 4. 6 minus 6, that is equal to 0. Now if anyone asks you how to find the formal charge on second oxygen, so formal charge in this case, look at 3 bond form means how many electron used? 2. So how many remain? 2. So what is the valence electron of oxygen? 6. Now lone pair of electron, we know only 2 electron, put it here 2 minus 1 by 2 shared pair of electron. How many bond? 1 2 3. So how many electron total here? 6. 2 3 is a 6. 6 minus 5 is equal to plus 1, or second oxygen atom, this is the plus 1. Is it clear? Now third oxygen, listen carefully. Formal charge is equal to valence electron of the central valence electron of oxygen. What is the valence electron? Total 6. Now lone pair, how many electron here? 2. Total we know 8 electrons. So how many electron remain? 2 2 4 2 6. That you all know. So lone pair of electron, I'm not talking about the lone pair. Lone pair means 3 lone pair, but total number of lone pair means 2 2 4 2 6 minus shared. How many bond? Only 1 bond, and 1 bond contain 2 electron. So 2 to the cancel 1. 6 minus 6 0. 0 minus 1 minus 1. So first oxygen atom formal charge, we know it's very simple. First oxygen jaldi bata do, this is 0. Second oxygen atom plus 1. Third oxygen atom minus 1. This is a general matter, but in average you can directly use this formula. Is it clear, my friend? Formal charge concept? Yes. Now which molecule out of the following does not contain unpaired electron? We know if the molecule is paramagnetic, then definitely it has unpaired electron. But if the molecule is diamagnetic, means it doesn't have unpaired electron. Clear? Now they are asking which molecule out of the following does not contain unpaired electron. Means the molecule is diamagnetic. Now we have a MOT theory. You can use the MOT theory, but the single in a quick interval of time, how will you solve this question? Count the number of electron. In N2 plus, how many electron? We know total 14 plus 1 means 1 less, means total 13 electron. It is a odd number. If it is a odd number, means it is paramagnetic. This is a rule we know. Now O2, how many electrons? 16 electron. It is an even number. So according to the rule, if the total number of electron is even, it should be diamagnetic. Am I right? Yes. Now O2 2 minus how many electron? 18 electron. Again it is a even number. We will say diamagnetic. B2, it is 10 electron. So it is again a even number. It should be diamagnetic. So now there is a confusion. All are diamagnetic. These three are diamagnetic because they, that means to say they do not contain unpaired electron. So answer should be O2, O2 minus a B2. Is it clear? No, this is not clear concept. Now listen. If the odd number of electron, that is paramagnetic. If the even number of electron, that is diamagnetic, except total number of electron 10 and 16. If the total number of electron 10 and 16, these are even number, still the compound is not diamagnetic, it is paramagnetic. So O2 also paramagnetic, B2 also paramagnetic, means it also contains unpaired electron, it also contains unpaired electron, and it is also unpaired. So which does not contain unpaired electron? O2 2 minus, because this is a even number. Even number means diamagnetic. If diamagnetic means all electrons are paired. So answer is C. Clear, my friend? This is a short trick. Otherwise you have to use the MOT theory and write down like this: sigma 1s2, sigma 1 sigma star 1s2, sigma 2s2, sigma star 2s2, so on. Clear, my friend? Concept clear? Now let's move to the next one. Which of the following is correct increasing order of lone pair? How to find the lone pair? This is the best one. If you have the command over Vespar theory, you can find the lone pair of any molecule. In IF7, how to find the lone pair? First of all, we have to find number of electron pair. How to find the number of electron pair? Listen. Central atom iodine. Iodine has valence electron 7. How many monovalent atom? Fluorine. How many monovalent atom? 7 monovalent atom. So write down 7. 7 plus 7, 14. Always divided by 2 because we are getting pair. Pair means one pair 2 electron. So total pair will be 14 by 2. So total pair 7 pair electron pair. Clear? Now number of bond pair. How to find the number of bond pair? Always remember, number of bond pair means total number of monovalent atom attached to the central atom. How many monovalent atom? 7. Clear na? 7 monovalent atom. So total number of bond pair is 7 pair. Clear? So number of lone pair, how to find? Number of lone pair is equal to, always remember, number of electron pair minus number of BP. Number of electron pair 7, number of bond pair 7. 7 minus 7. In IF7 there is no lone pair. Always remember, the atom attached to the central atom should be monovalent atom, not divalent atom. For divalent atom we have another thing, we have to check another things. Clear? And what are the monovalent atom? Those atom which has valency 1, like hydrogen, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. These are the monovalent atom. But oxygen is divalent, always remember, because it has valency 2. So do not consider oxygen here. Clear? Clear na? Now IF7, IF5, similarly, number of electron pair, tell me, sir, number of electron pair, central atom valence electron 7, how many monovalent atom? 5, divided by 2, 12 by 2, that is equal to 6. Total number of electron pair 6. Number of BP, total number of monovalent atom attached, how many monovalent atom? 5. So number of bond pair is 5. So what should be the number of lone pair? Number of lone pair is number of electron pair minus number of bond pair, means 6 minus 5, that is equal to 1. So IF5 electron pair 1. Am I right? Are you getting the things? देखो नहीं समझ में आया तो पूछ लो. So these are the theory and short method. You can easily solve such kind of questions. Chalo, we are not going to waste time. Now next one is ClF3. Do 5 ClF3. What is the number of electron pair? Tell me. Chlorine, valence electron 7, monovalent atom 3, 7 plus 3 10, divided by 2. How many electron pair? 5. Number of BP, tell me. BP means total number of monovalent atom, means 3. So number of lone pair, that is electron pair minus BP. 5 minus 3, that is equal to 2. So ClF3, how many lone pair? 2. Now XeF2, simple. Number of electron pair, tell me. Xenon has valence electron 8, monovalent atom 2, divided by 2. 10 by 2, that is equal to 5. Number of electron pair 5. So number of bond pair, tell me. Bond pair means total number of monovalent atom. How many monovalent atom? 2. So bond pair is 2. So lone pair is electron pair minus bond pair. 5 minus 2, that is equal to 3. So what is the increasing order? Oh, it's very simple. A is the correct option. Clear? Now by this method you can find the lone pair very easily. Now in another cases like O3, in each oxygen atom, how to find the lone pair? Like this. Total number of electrons should be 8. Now it used 2 electrons. So what should be the electron lone pair here? 3. Now how many bond it forms? 3 bond. So how many electron total here? 6. Left 2 electrons. So how many lone pair? 1. Now here, how many electron used here total in bond pair? That is total 4 electron, means 2 pair. So how many left? Total electrons should be, total electron bond pair or lone pair number of electrons should be always 8, not exceeding 8, because this is octet rule. So total electron here 2 plus 2, 4. How many electron left? 4. So total number of lone pair in this oxygen, 2 lone pair. In this oxygen, 3 lone pair. In this oxygen, 1 lone pair. Clear? So if there is no monovalent atom, then draw the structure, you can easily find. And another trick also, no issue. Now let's move to the next one. Now this is, according to the MO theory, which of the following list rank the nitrogen increasing bond order? Okay, bond order. N2 minus, how many electron? First of all, tell me. N2 14, 2 minus means 14 plus 2, 16 electron. We know short trick, bond order, if 16 electron, bond order is 2. N2 minus means 14 plus 1, 15 electron, means we know bond order is 2.5. That is the trick. Or if you do not know the trick, write down sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s2. Okay. In N2, total number of electron 14, means it has 14 electron. So bond order is 3. That's short trick that I have discussed in class also. Now, which has more bond order? N2. Which has less bond order? N2 minus. So what should be the answer? I think A. A should be the correct answer. Clear? I think completely clear. Now, this is a very good question. Now, what is the question? When N2 changes to N2 plus and O2 changes to O2 plus, then what will happen with the bond dissociation energy. Clear? Now N2 how many electron? 14. N2 minus how many electron? 15. If 14 electron system, so what is the bond order? 3. If 15 electron system, what is the bond order? 2.5. In O2, total number of electron 16. In O2 plus, total number of electron 15. If 16 electron, bond order 2. If 15 electron, bond order 2.5. Now we know bond order is inversely proportional to bond length, and bond order is directly proportional to bond energy or bond dissociation energy. More the bond order, more is the bond dissociation energy. So when N2 convert to N2 plus, no, pardon, here is plus, clear? And so when N2 convert to N2 plus, now what will happen? Then bond order decrease. If bond order decrease, that means to say bond dissociation energy also decreases. So in this case, there is a decrement. Now here bond order 2 converted to 2.5 means bond order increase, mean bond dissociation energy increases. So what should be the answer? First case decrease, second case increase. So we will say B is the correct option. Clear? I think you all are getting. And this is a short trick. If you do not know the short trick, I'm writing one thing. Write down the table 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Now put 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 0. Means if the total number of electron is 14, then bond order is 3. If the total number of electron is 16, the bond order is 2. If the total number of electron is 18, the bond order is 1. If the total number of electron is 15, means between 14 and 16, then average them. 3 plus 2 divided by 2 means 2.5. If the total number of electron is 11, then again average them. 2 plus 1, 3. 3 by 2, that is 1.5. This is the trick. Write down the 2 table. Table of 2, 2 to the 4, 6, 8, 10. I put 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 0. Clear? This is a short trick. I think you are very much familiar. Or if you do not know this trick, then write down sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s2, sigma 2s2, sigma star 2s2, then pi to pi 2px, pi 2py, then sigma 2pz, so on. Hai na? Clear? Now, very good question again. Now, the state of hybridization of boron and oxygen. Actually, H3PO3, BO3 is written like this: BOH whole thrice. Always remember. Now, when we draw the structure like this, OH, OH, and OH. Now, boron form how many single bond? 3. So hybridization is sp2. Oxygen, look at 2 lone pair here and 2 bond. So total number hybridization is sp3, that we know. sp3 also. Here is also sp3. Am I right? No? That you know. ONH, total number of single bond 3. So sp2. Total number of, look at here, 2 single bond and 2 lone pair, means total 4, means sp3 hybridization. So answer is sp2 and sp3. Clear? Now the decreasing value of bond angle, we know when we move from ns3, ps3 to ass3 to sbs3 to bis3, then what will happen? All have hybridization sp3, but the bond angle decreases. What is the reason? Drago rule and basic, that electronegativity decreases. So better you tick on the B option, decreasing electronegativity. Clear? Now let's IF7, IF6 minus. What should be the shape? First of all, find out the hybridization. X is equal to 1 by 2. Okay. Valence electron of the central atom 7. Total number of monovalent atom 6. Minus charge, positive charge plus negative charge. Negative charge is 1. So plus 1. This always remember. This is a formula. X is equal to 7 plus 6, 13, 13 plus 1, 14, 14 by 2, that is equal to 7. If X is equal to 1, then hybridization is sp. If X is equal to 2, the if X is equal to 2, if X is equal to 2, hybridization is sp. If X is equal to 3, hybridization is sp2. If X is equal to 4, the hybridization is sp3, so on. If X is equal to 7, means sp3d3. Count 1s, 3p. And 3d, 3, 3, 6 plus 1, 7. So if X is equal to 7, the hybridization is sp3d3. But in this case, the shape is not pentagonal bipyramidal. It is trigonal distorted octahedron due to Vesper theory. Clear? What should be the answer? That is trigonal distorted octahedron. But in IF7, it is IF7, no lone pair of electrons. So directly we will say in this case that is the pentagonal bipyramidal. Clear? But in IF6, trigonally distorted octahedron. Clear? I have tried to cover the topics related to chemical bonding, and this 10 questions is very, very important. And you know, this is a last hour preparation. So check out the question. And if there is any problem with the picture of the question, so I have told this question verbally. मैंने verbally भी इसको बोल दिया है. So I think now you can easily solve this question. And I think you easily got the concept behind these questions. Clear, my friend? So I'm ending the lecture. In my next lecture, I will take new chapter, gas law, then thermodynamics, and so on. Clear? Till then, bye-bye. Thank you so much.